David Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade faced each other in the ring, and the boxing world had a lot to say about the bout. Here's what the pros thought about the fight.
What's your thoughts on Benavidez knockout? What's your thoughts on Benavidez knockout?
Missed that one.
Come on, man. Hey, how we do against Canelo?
He started hurting him pretty early, so I was waiting for that.
I was gonna say, you were ringside. You were kind of seeing the punches up close, the sweat falling off of, Boo Boo's face and all that. Were you kind of like starting to get worried for him, maybe a little bit?
Yeah, I think I get worried for all of the opponents that David fights, so yeah.
Man, he put on a tremendous performance. Everyone I talked to after was kind of like, Canelo needs to fight him. There's nobody else. There's no other name. Or do you kind of agree with that as well?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think David did exactly what he was supposed to do. He had a beautiful performance, and I'm so proud of him. I think that the Caleb Plant fight really, really pushed him to work harder and to just take it to another level, and he's at another level now, and I know 100% that he's ready for Canelo. We're just waiting for the opportunity.
Both fighters have been waiting for their chance to fight Canelo Alvarez, but Steven Espinosa loved that neither one of them was waiting around and fought each other in the meantime. Steven stated, "Everybody knows the elephant in the room. Everybody wants the Canelo fight. But what I respect about these two men in this fight is they're not waiting. They're not sitting at home waiting to get a phone call. They're going out and making their case, taking tough fights, taking big challenges, taking risks, because that's what this sport is all about." Andre Rozier really thought there was a good chance that Demetrius would get overwhelmed by someone like David, and Andre stated, "Usually heat will stop an avalanche. Heat will stop it, and he's going to be presented with lots of speed. And we all know speed becomes friction. Friction becomes heat. Heat becomes the thing that burns you, and that's what's going to take place in the ring." Well, I'm not looking for him to look for a stoppage. I'm looking for Boo Boo to do what he does best: control the environment. Fast hands, slick moves, uncanny timing. These things are all going to come into play, and this is the one we've all been waiting for. Paulie Malignaggi thought that David might end the fight pretty early too, and Paulie stated, "You got the balls to tell him that nobody knows you when you're fighting guys that nobody knows. Don't play that game here." Andrade is definitely one of the tragic stories of boxing. I don't know what his result will be. I don't think he's going to beat Benavidez. I think he's actually going to start out really well and possibly get stopped in a fight that he might be ahead and get stopped. I see Benavidez closing very, very strong after an Andrade early good start. Again, at 35-36, it's a lot more difficult to stay strong down the stretch. Also, you're not in your prime. Danny Garcia had the perfect game plan for how to break them down mentally.
That's a tough fight. I'm telling you, I've been around the world with Boo Boo, and there's only a few people I can vouch for that really know how to fight, and he really know how to fight. Like, I've been to the World Cup with him. I traveled the world. He was the #1 amateur when I was #1 amateur. So we talking about a fighter who's been #1 from the amateurs to being an Olympian to the pros, 2-division champion. And then you got Benavidez. He's young, he's hungry, he throws a lot of punches, he's relentless. So that fight's gonna come down whoever execute their game plan better. I'm pretty sure Benavidez is gonna come forward, try to break him down mentally, throw a lot of combinations, and try to break him down. And then Boo Boo just gotta stay up with the boxing He got to make him frustrated, use his jab, use his angle. So it's whoever stay mentally strong and whoever execute the game plan. Like, that's a 50-50. If you ask me, that's 50-50 all the way.
If you're Boo Boo, when do you get your respect? Like, do you try to establish it early, or do you just try to pick your spots?
He got to go in there from very first round and set the tempo. He got to be one step ahead the whole fight, using his jab, getting his combinations off, and moving to his right, staying out of harm's way. And just making him frustrated, making him miss, staying slippery, using his jab, using his angles. Like, right off the rip, he got to set the tempo.
Eddie Hearn thought that this would be a fairly easy fight for Benavidez. Eddie stated, "Saunders has always liked the Andrade fight. I think that Benavidez will beat him if and when they fight, but we will see what happens in that fight. Caleb Plant, there are loads of fights out there for Saunders." Stephen Edwards thought that it would be a close fight, and he saw a perfect way for Demetrius to win. Stephen stated, 35 is when you start to look for a decline in athletes in general, but I don't know. I haven't seen any evidence that he slipped, to be honest, but we haven't seen him against a certain level of guy. It's not like he's been getting dropped, earning split decisions and scraping by guys he should beat. The results of his fights have always been the same results that he's getting now. So Andrade could conceivably get out to a good lead before David starts to come on, and consistency at this level is a true marker for greatness. We have to see how David is going to perform after some videos been out of him getting outboxed in the first half of the fight against Caleb Plant. Tim Bradley didn't just think that Andrade had a good chance, he thought that Benavidez was going to have a hard time with him.
I see a lot of opportunities where I think a guy with the smarts of Andrade can make him pay. Andrade is also a left-hander. I mean, that brings a lot more that Benavidez has to deal with in the ring. We haven't seen Benavidez with a whole lot of left-handers. And Benavidez, I think his biggest issue in this fight is going to be his footwork. I feel that he has terrible footwork. He squares up often. And I think a fighter with Andrade's skill set and experience, I think he's going to be able to expose that, come forward, pick his spots wisely, move, be elusive with his defense as well, make this guy miss. And I think we're going to have to see a better version of Benavidez if he's going to pull off this win. He's going to have to be the best that he's ever fought, that we've ever seen him in the boxing ring. Because I'm telling you right now, man, do not count out Andrade, man. He's a sneaky fighter, good, well-schooled boxer, and he has what it takes to outbox Benavidez.
Jose Benavidez had all the confidence in the world in his brother, though.
How do you see your brother's fight with Demetrius? Let us know. Give us a preview of what's going to happen.
I honestly feel like my brother's going to take him out. He's going to take him out. He's going to try to, Andrade's probably trying to box him, but he's a good boxer, but there's only so much boxing you can do when you get caught in those corners. You can't move and you get caught with those punches, those body shots, those punches that are coming from all over the place. Everyone has a game plan to get hit, and I feel like that's what's going to happen now. Brother's he's just too fast for that weight, dude. It's too fast, it's too big. I mean, he's just going to take him out.
David Benavidez wasn't wasting any energy on starting drama, and he was saving it for their fight. David stated, "I think he's in even more danger because I'm not wasting energy on a beef. When you have a beef, it's just bullshit because you're going to fight anyways. It makes you go into the ring with certain emotions where sometimes you want to hit him with one big shot. I know he's a great fighter, but I feel that once I'm not in that cloud of hate in my head, I can really go to work on combinations and have fun. Let my combinations free, go freely, and just be who I am. I think in my last fight against Caleb Plant, I got kind of caught in that mode where I was trying to take his head off in the first couple of rounds. But once it got to the 6th round, I started letting my hands go. It was a completely different fight." Meanwhile, Demetrius knew that this was a big opportunity for him, and he wasn't about to let it slip by. Demetrius stated, "I have a lot of strengths. With my athletic ability and my preparation, I can beat anyone. This has really been a great camp. We've gotten through the ups and downs, and we've done everything we need to do to get the victory in this matchup. I've fought every style there is today. I just have to go in there, find his weakness, and figure out what's going to work. I'm going to step forward with my best foot and expect David to do the same, even though his feet are not as great as mine. We'll be having fun in there. I've waited my whole career for this. With what we both have inside of us, it's gonna make it a great fight. I don't really know his strengths until I get in there, but from watching him, he likes to overwhelm his opponents. That's really all I see. November 25th, tune in and I'm gonna expose his weaknesses. This is the best fighting the best. It's a great moment. The timing couldn't be any better. It's the fight that makes all the sense in the world right now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.